It's the final map here of the day at the GG.Bet Beijing Invitational. We have some incredible teams here in attendance, and obviously it is the winners matchup of Group B. It's G2, and they're taking on GamerLegion. And well, the first map did go in favor of GamerLegion, and the second in favor of G2. Both pretty close affairs, and the second map does too. Wasn't looking like it was going to be.
No, that was very much looking like it was a game of, well, G2 being in full control for the better part of it until they got the map point. Then things kind of started to slip away from them. It was 6 rounds in a row, I think, from the side of GamerLegion, where they looked to be in control. Basically picking apart G2, and it didn't really seem like the Frenchmen had a clear idea as to what they needed to do to change things up and get back into it. But I guess GamerLegion kind of went away from what was giving them success for a fair part of it on that T side, and that's how we saw the Frenchmen actually bring it back to victory. So here we find ourselves on train.
Yeah, and the way they were finding success was based off the back of a tempo change, right? They were playing super aggressive, super fast, and that's something you can't do on train as much on the T side.
No, it's very hard. Sure, you can always do the dives out through to Olaf, or potentially wide swing out towards E-box, depending if you have the smokes down between 5 and 6 train. All those kind of things, that is a possibility, but it's a lot harder to find success on a regular basis and a consistent basis than it is on a map like Dust 2.
Yeah.
I think spawns come more into play in that sense, where you're not necessarily allowed as many prominent spawns as you would be on the T side of Dust 2 to potentially go somewhere fast.
So taking a look at this final map, I think we both predicted G2 to take the series. It could be a possible 2-0, but we always kind of thought in the back of our heads it could be a 3-mapper.
Yep.
Just because of the caveat that G2 aren't here with their full roster, it is a new one. And GamerLegion, well, they're a revolving door of players, so they're kind of used to it at this point, just having a team that isn't together for a long time. So I'm sure these guys are just used to just playing different maps and seeing what works and throwing stuff at the wall. But Train's a very tactical map, and I would definitely say the T side of Train is probably the most difficult half you can play in CS at the minute.
Yeah, it seems like it, right? It's a very challenging one for sure. I just think especially seeing with, I guess, changes we've seen with Nuke as well, that's not anywhere near as tough of a team map to play anymore compared to what it used to be. So yeah, Train probably quite up there in terms of just a difficult map to grind through on. So we'll see what comes of it for GamerLegion. They're going to get the dubious honor of starting on the T side. We'll see what they can make of it. But as you said, yeah, they might not be Train experts by any means, and they are a bit of a revolving door when it comes to members, but they at least have had maps on Train with the core of these players. And it's not like either Rusty or Freiburg are unfamiliar with the map by any means. Here we see the lineup for utility towards the inner bomb side.
That's a good sign.
Heavy, actually. Yeah, that's a very nice sign as well. You can see, though, the odds from GG.Bet favoring G2 Esports. Can't really fault them for that.
Ooh.
But the opening frags, my oh my. That's three quick frags.
It's not like G2 were in a poor position for it either. They set themselves up in a great position to deal with the utility. They just don't get anything for it. And Kenny finally gets something for G2, but is it too little, too late? It certainly seems that way. We'll see if GamerLegion can hold on though, as Kenny S has found himself another. He still has a teammate in the form of Amanek, who has a kit, and Kenny's doing damage. Nearly finds himself a third so far, but obviously gets dropped by Rusty here, and Amanek caught between a rock and a hard place, dropped by Rusty, who does get himself a 3K into the pistol.
Not bad at all. GamerLegion, I mean, if you're going to have woes on the T side, at least starting off with the T pistol, potentially grabbing an easy follow-up round, and that kind of thing is going to help you a pretty long way, actually, in terms of being able to get at least some wiggle room on the CT side once you swap over. Now then, 3 MAC-10s, not necessarily known for its range, but seems like GamerLegion are going to kind of circumvent that by going towards Ivy. But that's also where the entirety of the G2 lineup find themselves. Oh, and that's a bit of a massacre.
Well, they all find themselves in the graveyard at this point. All of them gone 2-0 here for GamerLegion, looking solid at the start of Train, but again, it is the first 2 rounds. And we'll see what they've got prepared in the first gun round. This is really where the proof of the pudding is.
Absolutely. Utility's going to be looking good on GamerLegion though, so they can set up for whatever they want. If it wants to be the most cookie cutter of yard pushes and executes, that's perfectly fine. They'll have any option available to them. Op in the hands of Kenny, that's not going to be the case for Nock. He's still going to quickly move out towards Olaf, and I'm curious if he actually made it there completely unnoticed. All right, maybe not as unnoticed as you would have liked. Jax and Kenny being aware of his position. Jax actually, well, lighting up his own feed and still finds the timing to deal with Hampus as well. So this is working swimmingly for the French so far. Jax, I've mentioned them all day as being the top performer really for G2.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be slowing down either. Boost in Pop to see above the window, see if you can find any of the players on G2 standing on top of trains. They've already backed down and out though. Just playing this as safe as possible. And right now, this is where the issues come in, obviously, if you're GamerLegion. The fact that you're not necessarily the best drilled squad, having continuously new players joining in. Making the most out of these scenarios is really, really difficult.
Well, Kenny S does connect on towards Dennis. Jack's still pretty low inside of the site, but he's still alive. That's the main thing. Rusty does take away Kenny. And when he tries to get closer in towards the bomb site itself, 27 seconds still stand on the clock. Bomb isn't really in a recoverable position at the minute, so they just have to try and find the kills. With Keo finding the last two, they'll be happy enough with that. So 2-1, G2 will get there first on the board, and it's in the gun run. So obviously a good sign moving forward for the Frenchman. Straight away though, Knock with the Krieg. And everyone with the Krieg. So, not bad. The Krieg is definitely the weapon to go to here for GamerLegion. And I think that is pretty map dependent, right? It's a very vertical and linear map where the Krieg can be super useful. Especially when you don't have an AWP, right? You can challenge that AWP with the scope of the Krieg.
Absolutely true. And Kenny's going to get shooed away from Ivy. Start us off. That's the scope of the Krieg getting the better of him. Start us off. But no real committal from GamerLegion. As you can see, they're pretty spread out. They've even got Freiburg hanging out towards brown walls. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not G2 are going to be the kind of team that's continuously having, I guess, worries about an inner push and therefore holding two players steady on this inner bomb side or not. If they're eventually going to lead with more of a fluent role and having a rotation to rely on. GamerLegion for right now, though, just really taking their time. Freiburg's going to make his way down into Pop. There's also a fair amount of real estate being given up in Ivy. You can see Hamp is all the way at the very end here. There's nobody actually looking in that direction either. The only player they really have to kind of peer in toward it is Jax on top of the bomb train, and he swings out, or Ominic if they actually push forward. But they can still get angles on some of these G2 players, and Hampus is actually going to get free real estate towards the inner bomb site if he wants to. Oof. Well, that's a sloppy setup from G2, though. It's just a glaring hole in it.
Yeah. Oh, it has been picked to pieces. Amanek is going to take away Hampus. Time is so low, but GamerLegion, they've got onto the bomb site just in the nick of time as the plant comes in. It has to be the 3v4 retake from G2. Will they find their way into it? No, because they're going to back off and save inside of the B-bomb site. And GamerLegion will go up to 3. And if there was any question on whether or not this is going to be a dominant affair from G2, this doesn't really look like the start that you would usually see from a team that's about to dominate. So I think we've got a pretty close game in our hands, at least from the early signs.
Could very well be.
I just love the sheer Kriegage on the GamerLegion side.
Just fully committing to it.
Yeah.
What was it? We did have an instance of, I think it was Crazy versus Mousesports, where Crazy were not the biggest fans of actually buying the weapon on the T side because they were afraid of Mousesports being able to pick it up at some point in time.
But all 5 players from GamerLegion just going towards it.
Not giving a damn.
Yeah.
And I guess if you just win all the rounds.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure nobody on the CT side survives ever. And there's nothing really to worry about.
That's a pretty good thing to live by, right? It's like
just win.
Yeah, just win. It's always great when you ask someone in your team. It's like, any ideas? Win.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny's got a good kill. On towards Knock. Man advantage available for G2.
Follow up as well there. Jax takes out Dennis and teammate. Maybe this string of rounds from GamerLegion is not meant to be after all. Hard pressed to see how it's going to deal with it. Omnic with the slowest reaction time of 2019. Shoots a solid like second after Freiburg's dipped up again, but fair enough. No harm done. Nobody dies off of it. And we continue on.
Well, there's going to be a smoke in towards the A bomb site from the brown holes. GamerLegion yet to commit towards A though. I think there's one player there, Hampers, and the rest of them are going to be trying to walk in towards B, but Kiyoshima is aware of the possibility that that could come through, so he throws the Molotov in towards ramp, and Nade will follow up in behind it, and it does quite a lot of damage onto Rusty actually. Luckily, there still is a smoke in his arsenal, and Hampus has made his way through Ivy. He could be a big problem here, a big thorn in the side of the CT players, as Hampus is in towards Sandwich. 19 seconds. He's just creeping up behind. Jax is there. Headshot comes in, looking for the follow-up, but it's Kenny S who flicks back in time, and they're going to commit in towards A. Kenny gets another one. Amanek shuts it all down, and there it is. 2 on the board for G2. A great run from Kenny S, really, there. The 2 last kills coming in. I really don't know how he gets the second.
Kenny S things, right?
Exactly.
It's definitely what you want, though, if you're G2. Kenny S had a remarkably quiet Dust 2 affair.
Exactly. That's the map where we really praise Kenny S, right? That's the map where he can just pop off and dictate the entire map himself. But yeah, it seemed like he was very quiet, and it was Jax that was left to do all the heavy lifting.
Absolutely. Hampus stopped in his track, but was able to find Amanek after he ventures in towards Pop Dog. Does make his position known, though. Then he is waiting, and he's not going to miss that opportunity. An advantage with G2 yet again. Rusty's already tagged up pretty heavily. 34 HP on him, Dennis at 45. And all of them grouping up towards Ivy. We'll see if they can actually get something out of this. They don't really have too much utility to work off of. It's 2 smokes, really, that's going to be the potential saving grace. But G2's positioning right now is pretty damn good.
Well, Molotov goes towards Rusty, and the rest of the boys towards Ivy, so they're kind of forced back away, and they're going to have to try and take their time. Eventually, they'll start to move forward. Nade comes in, does really solid damage on towards Dennis and Rusty, who is currently on 28 HP. Nock is the player with the highest remaining health points on 97, and Kiyoshima holds the iron goal, and he will be dropped first. Nock will hit the deck, and it's now Rusty and Dennis in a 2v4 to try and recover this against G2, but Rusty's got that 1 kill onto Kiyo. With 20 seconds left, there still is a slight chance here for GamerLegion, albeit very slight.
Oh, G2 back to winning ways here. 2 rounds in a row, and maintaining decent amount of economy, I suppose. Not losing too much to the point where their utility purchase is going to be too hampered. Outside of GamerLegion, they've run out of stock at this point. I have to imagine that they're just going to be biding their time. We haven't seen that many ops really coming into play. We've seen scopes for the majority of the time with the SG. Maybe that's what GamerLegion are saving up for.
Well, 1 minute 33. Round virtually begun already. GamerLegion are starting to pressure in towards T-Con. It's Kenny S who drops Freiburg early, going for a bit of a push through the smoking Pop Dog. So trying to get the element of surprise going, but Kenny's ready for it. He doesn't get surprised by much, as Rusty is the man who drops Amanek. 3 players still standing for GamerLegion. 2 might just topple here as Jax peeks in towards Ivy, knows they're both there. And Rusty going to get 1 on the Deagle. The rest of the Ivy push starts to come through as Jax here's the second player. Lucky will drop Rusty, and Jax gets his second kill. So 4-3, 3 in a row here for G2. And things are looking much better for the Frenchman. Over in GamerLegion, we take a look at their money, and certainly starting to get better, but it's not an amazing position at all. they're going to be lacking again that AWP, so they're going to have to go to the Krieg in the hands of Rusty, and Hampers and the rest with the AK-47s. Not a whole lot of utility either.
No, that's very true.
Flashbangs in towards T-Con. Hampers blinded by them. Kiyoshima holds the bottom of the ramp with his arm. It's been spotted by Dennis. He'll spam on in, but it's Jax again. You can start to tell when he's getting confident because he starts making these ridiculously aggressive plays. Just push T-Con, got a kill, and straight away he's in Pop Dog.
And again, that just puts GamerLegion in such a difficult position, right? You're already a team that's a bit on the back foot when it comes to playing the map itself with a new roster. Now you're having to deal with this constant aggression coming out from G2 early on. And, well, Kiyoshima is dealing well with what is being thrown at him on the end of the bomb site. Rusty stuck in a Molotov. Even though he does find Lucky, it's a little bit too late. Knock, all by his lonesome. Bomb drop down on the site. And now his body's there as well.
Yeah, hard knock life. But 5-3, that's 4 in a row here for G2. And, well, the money is not great for GamerLegion. They can maybe pick up a couple of upgraded pistols here. Some Kevlar could be sprinkled in, but we're looking for the next one. And G2 look to grab 6. Again, if you are new to Counter-Strike, some maps are more heavily favored towards the attacking side, and some more favored towards the defensive side. Train is one of those that fall into the category of being CT-sided and more heavily favored towards the defensive side. So we're used to seeing a lot of halves go pretty heavily in favor of the CTs, and that you can still come back even after a pretty poor T side. A little bit of flash. And the rest of the troops starting to make their way through the Ivy smoke. It's going to be Amanek with 3 kills. Yes, against the pistols, but still a good spectacle to watch. There's 5 in a row. Keep ticking for G2.
Eco-frags matters too.
They do.
Well, it's 5 rounds in a row. 6 in total for G2 right now. It feels like they're getting a footing in this match and maybe even a bit of a clamp on it, trying to get GamerLegion out of here as quickly as possible. Keep in mind, whenever this match goes directly to the playoffs, loser has to wait a couple of days to see who they'll be playing to seal their fate and potentially make it further.
And obviously, the teams that are already in the semi-final is Mousesports.
Yep. G2 obviously looking to join them as well. Winning here would mean that you don't run into Mousesports until a potential finals, which is a pretty tantalizing idea if I'm...
That's what you want, right?
If I can say so myself. And then in, I guess, the decider match that we have from Group A, the team that's made it that far is Force, having lost to Mousesports.
Not an easy team to beat either.
Absolutely. That Group A was quite the challenge.
The group of death.
Right now, it's just death and destruction provided by G2 here. Rusty finds Kiyoshima just out and about.
Bogged down through.
Omenix, well, not making any secret of the fact that he's around. He's going to think better of it and dip out, though. Probably the best idea.
45 seconds still in play, 4v4. GamerLegion not with a whole lot of map control. Still have some utility, so they can eventually gain that. The biggest problem for me I see right now is Jax is in Pop Dog, so you're going to have to try and get him out of there without letting him get a kill. And, well, he's gone with such an aggressive stance.
They're going to go towards Ender, though. That's the perfect call in this scenario.
They need to...
Well, it depends on how they play it with Hampus. Hampus is actually going to be the point of contact. That is a bit of a worry because now there's no way to actually sell the fake. You know that this is going to be the committal with 15 seconds left. Dominic finds an easy one. And at this point, it becomes extremely difficult for GamerLegion to win it out.
Well, the bomb plant comes in, but winning it is a different story. It's not Cast to try and pull it all off. It's not going to happen for him. Kenny S drops him, and there it is. Another on the board for G2, 7-3. And things are not looking much better for GamerLegion. At least they do get the bomb plant there, so that does give them some extra cash moving into this next one. And with loss bonus building as well, they can buy quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they will get to a point where they can more or less force buy into to every single round and actually get pretty decent weaponry out of it. But it depends on whether or not they get the bomb plant down to get proper utility with it, right? Well, actually, yeah, they are at that point right now. So if they get a bomb plant down, they can get more or less decent buys in every single round from this point on. But and that's all well and dandy. But if you're not able to really break this wall that's been put up by G2, you're still not getting anything for it. Kiyoshima, aggressive once more. Gets caught out. Lucky. It's one. Staggering the push here. That's very good. Oh, misses not the most difficult shot I've seen, but makes up for it by finding Freiburg.
The thing that a lot of pros are very good at is being able to use the ladders to gather info.
Yeah.
And that's something a lot of lower tier players aren't very good at. And certainly something you can practice, but here goes Amanek right towards the bomb site. 2 kills coming his way. It leaves Hampus on his own. And yes, they've got a bomb plant, but like you said, there's a certain point where you just kind of need to win runs. It's not enough just getting a bomb plant every run. You need the run wins. And Hampus is going to try and go for it, but the defuse already too far gone anyway, as Lucky will send him to bed. 8-3, 7 in a row for G2. If I'm not mistaken, this was the 7th in a row they got on Overpass, and then GamerLegion broke them.
It's very true. This does have a bit of a different feel to it than what we saw in Overpass, though. I have to be honest. Lucky here being able to, yeah, just as you mentioned, just using the ladder to see the fact that Freiburg drops off allows him to re-pick into the next fight, just knowing where to pre-aim. Obviously makes it a whole lot easier.
Obviously makes it very difficult to shoot you as well if you've got to be down the ladder, so.
Absolutely, so.
Just don't try and shoot while on the ladder.
Yeah, that's reserved for like certain special people. We've seen it every now and again. People walking up with ops and ladders and somehow no-scoping stuff in Pop Dog. Yeah. It does happen. Not advisable, not something you should try to make a mainstay of your game. You never want to play necessarily close-up Pop Dog with an op.
If you're going to do it, make sure you have like a Mag 7 or something. Something that's low value but is still accurate on ladders.
Yeah, goes straight.
Yeah.
Well, quick little time out there to talk things through. I'm assuming that's on the side of GamerLegion. We're back into the swing of things, though. 8 rounds for G2 Esports. Looking damn fine here on the CT side of Train.
They are indeed. And, well, they start to send some troops in towards Upper B. Again, it's just the same setup coming in from G2, but look at this aggressive push coming in from Jax. This is the kind of stuff he's starting to get known for, right? It's just this aggression that he loves. Gets so much info. But there's going to be a B hit coming through. Kiyoshima, he's going to get 1 kill, but it's not enough just yet because GamerLegion have the B bomb site. It seems like they consistently get it. It's just, what do they do after?
Yeah. G2 seem content enough with, I guess, giving up the initial bomb site. They do damage. They keep players alive for the better part of it, or actually trade evenly. It's all about being able to prevent GamerLegion from getting forward positions on the inner bomb side. That's really what makes it difficult for CTs to retake. And right now they're doing a damn fine job of it. Amanek, 2 frags, closes out the retake, and yet again, as you said, there is a bomb plant to be found for GamerLegion, and they do get into the inner bomb site, but they're not winning rounds.
That seemed as close as you could get it, though. That was probably their best attempt yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably fair.
Well, maybe if they just keep doing it, eventually something will come of it. When we're looking at this, we're probably realistically looking at 5 needed to make this competitive. Obviously, 6 is the best case scenario still available to them.
Yeah, no, 5 seems like a bit of a must here. Jax is going to get flashed forward by his teammate. I don't think that's far enough, so poor flash, honestly, from Kenny. Sent Jax into his doom. And that might be what GamerLegion need to claw at least 1 round back. So 3 people focused on Ivy. And we saw last time, actually, when G2 went 1 man down, they did give up Ivy control completely, which allowed for Hampus to wreak havoc. Let's see if it remains the same now. GamerLegion actually opting away from 3 players in Ivy. 2 back into team main. Smoke has gone down, but this time they've actually just given up the entirety of the inner bomb site. That's the real big play here from G2. They're so confident that this is going to be our play, and they're going to be absolutely correct as well. Kenny misses the opportunity as he gets flashed out. Still alive, but Dennis doubles up. Rusty follows suit. All of a sudden, Keo left alone, and he doesn't really stand a chance in hell to do anything here.
Yeah, that was really well executed from T-Con there. Completely neutralizes the fact that Kenny's playing close with the ult. Great flashbang coming in, and Rusty obviously finishing off the job towards Ivy. So 4 on the board here for GamerLegion. They tried B time and time again, and I mean, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again.
And expecting different results.
Yeah. So they changed it up a little bit, and they go in towards A. So that one works. Maybe they'll go back there.
We'll see. If it did feel like they were creeping closer to something worthwhile or something substantial on the inner bomb side as well, but they only have a limited amount of tries, and they definitely needed to get rounds on the board, so this is a good change of pace.
Oh, well, Nock does take some damage on board there. To send one player close by. It's Jax already in T-Con. G2 looking for double figures, and it's a good start into round number 14. Amanek is in a very dangerous position right here to deal with if you're GamerLegion. Unless they go for the boost. This boost, still, Amanek's in a perfect position to deal with it. He'll spot the head if they go for it, and there it is. Hampus's head comes up, and it will be dealt with. Now that he knows there's 2 players there, he can call that on over. Smoke comes up, flash in there as well, and Amanek will drop Sprout. Oh my god, spams with the smoke as well, and catches up Rusty. So it's all a knock in a 1v5.
Oh, well. Said it was, well, best case scenario was 6. Now it's 5.
Yeah.
And even that might not be enough. G2 looking damn good, if I can say so myself. Been very much a one-sided affair here on Train.
Well, this is the last round of the first half. The last time we'll get to see G2 on the defense. And, well, the last time we'll see GamerLegion on the T side. So we'll see what they can do, if they can make the best of it. And it will be Hampus just letting Jax walk on by.
Aww.
Does he go for the knife kill? Nope. One tap comes in. He's waiting to see if any more come into his crosshair. Dennis able to get a headshot. So this is looking okay. GamerLegion still have the problem of Kenny S and Amanek still inside of the site. Lucky's there. It's actually Lucky on the op. We'll take 2 kills, looking back for more towards the E-box, and he's doing such a great job. This is Kenny S-like as Kiyoshima's into the 1v1. Nock finally puts an end to Lucky, and Kiyo looks to drop Nock, and he's done it. 11-4 at the half here for G2, and well, you got to thank Lucky for getting that 11th.
Yeah, I was really just getting into. I love how the fact just like you were so ready for that being Kenny, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, judging from the results, it would be kind of hard to differentiate the two. That was very well done. Also nets them. A cheeky 11 rounds on the CT side. Not the worst day at the office at all. And the odds from GG.Bet looking pretty grim. 1.06 for G2. That's, I'd like to see that if you're a G2 fan, I suppose. But GamerLegion all the way up in the high 8s. Do have a bit of ways to go here to get back into this. They did show some signs on Dust 2, so I guess we're not going to write them off entirely yet, but well, time will tell if they have another potential comeback in them.
Well, Hampus is up in towards the brown holes. Going for a very aggressive stance on the CT side. Could be good for 1 kill, but with G2 giving up that control of brown holes early, they need to realize that's a possibility when they go around that corner. If they go around that corner, that is.
Yeah.
Keo and Amanek are towards Ivy. Freiberg holding the angle, but looks away. It seems as though Keo's going to go for the run boost. I think, yeah, Freiburg spotted that. So there's the aggressive stance. Hampus gets impatient, wants to go for some information, and gets his head torn off. So G2 win the patience battle, and they've got the man advantage.
Man advantage. So I guess more things happening according to the plan for G2. This is pretty much the life they've been living for the better part of this map. Now smokes go in towards the inner bomb side as well. Rusty's been spotted, and Pop Dog and Dennis currently alone on the inner bomb site. Forward positioning already been found. Freiburg has dealt with Kiyoshima and Ivy, but bomb's gone down. G2 ready to defend the retake.
Well, Rusty kicks off lucky. Kill goes back in from Kenny S though, but it's back and forth we go. This time it's GamerLegion coming out on top. They will drop everyone apart from Kenny, who's in behind all three of them. Whiffs the shots though, eventually will drop two. Oh. And it's one more player fine for Kenny. This would be the quad kill. Knock against Kenny. Knock's tapped the bomb, but Kenny knows he's off it. He'll run up the ladder. He'll drop off and playing the time perfectly. And Knock runs back, he realizes there's no time, and Kenny wins the clutch. What a clutch from Kenny S.
Yeah, you were looking a little bit squeamish as he fired off the first couple of shots, not finding any connections, and then follows that up with an immediate second kill. That puts him in the position to do exactly that. And G2, even though it was looking a little bit labored once that retake started, managed to close it out and get a 12th, and that should lead to a 13th, but we are seeing GamerLegion putting up a bit of resistance here. Two scouts spot up, Freiburg and Knock. Deagles as well to boot. We'll see what comes of it, though. GamerLegion are not able to pick up this, then they're going to be in for a world of hurt.
Well, Amanek starting his approach towards Pop. It is going to be Hampus taking the kill on towards Lucky. Only a 4v4 here. Oh my god, nice shot from Rusty coming right through. It'll be Knocked to drop Amanek, and we're into a 2v4 here with Kenny on 29 HP. It's certainly looking like GamerLegion might just be able to steal this round away. Keo has a very difficult task, but he'll try his best. He's got the headshot towards Ivy, knows there's a player up towards Heaven, but Rusty makes the right call and doesn't face. Freiburg eventually will finish off Kenny S, leaving Keo in a 1v3.
Tough one to win as well. Down to 29 HP. So even pistols are going to be very efficient. And Dennis definitely had the opportunity if Rusty missed it to win at the round. So GamerLegion bring it right back. The double scouts doing a whole lot of work in addition to the deal of Rusty. So still fighting there. And then with the lifeline, G2 have to be a little bit frustrated with how that panned out.
Well, 12-5, G2 only need 4 more to get them over the line, but, you know, we've seen these one-sided scenarios for G2 already against GamerLegion on Dust 2, and it didn't finish one-sidedly. You know, there was a very long road back into it, but GamerLegion nearly pulled it off.
Yeah. Well, unlike G2 Esports, well, unlike GamerLegion, G2 have opted not to invest into this round. Just going to dive right in, hope to find a bomb plan, and that's, well, not looking super likely. Actually, Kishima might be able to get his hands on it. Nope. And away we go. On to the next one. And as we wait for freeze time to take it down and see what G2 invest, what you guys at home can do is predict your bet fast and easy with no queues, no business hours, and no rejections. You can make a bet on GG.Bet.com and insure the bet with the code SAVE in all capital letters. An easy, nice and easy way to do it.
Well, that maybe should have been something G2 did, save up their money, but they decided to go with the Mac 10 purchase.
Yeah, this is the thing that I can, we know Amadekov's done it. I didn't know he had influenced Kenny S to join in.
It's kind of like a contagious thing. You just kind of look around. It's like,
spreads like the plague.
Yeah, it is a plague. We'll see if it works, though. Mac 10s on this map can be pretty potent if, you know, use the right utility.
Yeah. The only thing that has me a little bit worried is, obviously, Kenny S, you're looking for him to get an op. I'm guessing with how, well, actually now Jack's invested in a Mac 10 as well. I was about to say he would have to be the one to drop an op over.
Is he going to buy Kevlar? That's the question. He's not, so.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm kind of just wanting to see a deal from Jax. The Mac 10, it can be very cruel if you have a lot of aim punch.
Yeah. No, this is... who knows what to expect? We'll see. Okay, well, that's one way of doing it. Dennis already down to 20 HP. Still going to find one at the very least.
Rush ramp. And
there we go.
Pretty nice from Nock. He just coolly picks off a few of them, but the bomb plant coming in will ensure more money for the rest of the side. And Kiyoshima is looking to pick off a few more players. Lucky pulls up the Krieg. A lot of different angles to check, but Rusty comes in from behind, so 12-7.
Yeah. Well, they do get the bomb plant, I guess, so the investment of it all doesn't really have any bearings on their future buy.
Question is, could they have done that without Mac-10s, though? Could they have done it with just pistols?
Very likely.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, well, anyone outside of Kenny is probably the one who should be buying an op if they're going to go for it. Dominic might be deliberating whether or not he's going to fall on the sword for Kenny S. It means that he wouldn't have any armor. They might just opt to go for rifles all around and get that utility in there, and that is what's going to be the case. Kenny S actually just opting to not buy the last nade. No Molotov, no nade, still has 500 bucks.
This was always like a frustrating part about G2 and a lot of the older editions as well, is when they had the sort of economic decisions that would just prevent Kenny from getting the op a lot.
Yeah.
And you have a player like Kenny, you don't want to get him the op, like, it doesn't make sense. But, well, it seems to be working for Lucky. He's got the opening kill.
Yep.
So there we go. It will be 2 from Nock. Another one from Hampus, should I say. And we'll be into a 3v2 as Dennis will walk away with 2 kills himself on the M4A4. So 4 in a row here from GamerLegion. Feels like G2 are starting to lose a little bit of control here.
Yeah, unnecessarily so as well. You would imagine that if they had a better economy going for themselves, they would be in a better state. But yeah, right now they're making life difficult for themselves. We'll see if they can right their wrongs. But GamerLegion, they're not known for giving up. We saw that on Dust 2, and now they have much more of a cushion to play with as well. G2 not even near match point as it stands.
So this is where things start to get a bit scary for G2, is when they fall into this trap of, well, we've got a bit of a buffer, we'll keep buying it here and there until eventually they get enough loss bonus to get a full buy-in. And by that time, GamerLegion are only a few rounds away from equalizing, so G2 need to keep track of it. GamerLegion just need to stay positive. It's not over yet.
Biding their time. Look, he's actually going to find the connection and win out the duel versus Dennis. That means bomb plant is going to come down for G2. And oh, okay, Nucky's lucky to stay alive there.
Well, G2 do get the bomb plant.
Yeah, they do.
Can they get anything more than that? Kiyoshima well fought. It's all on Kenny. 1v4. We'll get a kill on towards Rusty.
Just take the gun and bail out.
Yeah, just run away. Or
I guess, well,
this could work.
Mess with the flash and then, yeah, okay. They're going to buy up next round anyway, I suppose. He just wanted to do as much damage as possible. Would have been such a nice get if they could have finished off Nock there. 5 HP, taking out the op and forced some reinvestments on the side of GamerLegion. But G2, yeah, you said it. They're starting to lose control and grip of this match. It's been 5 rounds in a row for the Swedes.
The changing factor is, though, that Kenny has an op. Finally, he's got it into his hands. Can he make it work, though? It's a very op-centric map. We talk about this this battle of the oppers, and we generally never see that happen, right? It's like you can get the oppers in play, but you never really see op v op because they're always in completely different positions, it seems.
Yeah.
There'll be a flash in towards Hampus, though, as he flashes his way out towards Ivy. Kiyoshima is going to be in behind the bin as Hampus wants to take away. Kiyo has no idea he's there. That'll be the man advantage for the CT side, and eventually G2 wants to just try and run in towards B. They sprint on towards the bomb site. Dennis is ready for it. That's the first kill coming his way, and there's no smoke down for the site. I was kind of expecting at least a couple of smokes to land in the B bomb site there, but they run completely dry.
It is a bit of an odd look, isn't it? Jax is going to get the bomb plant down. Well, already you can see the wrap coming in from the CTs. Kenny is aware of it, but still going to be a difficult shot to hit. Yeah, and misses the opportunity. Rusty takes full advantage. Jax still stuck in the middle of the bomb site, and he's about to get a 4-man pincer. GamerLegion can do this. They absolutely can. They survived the tough slog on the T side, and apparently it's more than just one team that has a bit of a hard time with the T side here.
Yeah, because G2, what they're doing is pretty similar to what GamerLegion were doing. It's just straight in towards that B bomb site, hope for the best. Get
and see what happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Odds are starting to shift as well, which is pretty heavily in favor of G2, understandably. See the odds from GG.Bet. Now GamerLegion creeping in closer at 2.46.
Still favoring G2 though.
Yeah. I mean, they are in the lead. So.
Yeah. I mean, it has to, I guess. It makes sense. But,
fair is fair.
We'll see if they can finally find some success, because it just hasn't been their way of things here on the T side. A flash comes in. It's going to be Kiyoshima who falls. Amanek able to drop Freiberg in reply. And it is a 4v4 here. But Dennis has got a lot of control towards the ramp, so that's a lot of info. G2 are going to have to try and find a way to shut that down, so we'll see if it's possible for them. They're going to be gathering their troops over towards B. And currently there is only one player on the B-bomb site. It is Dennis. If he gets his utility popping off at the right time, with that nade is going to go in, and it's perfect. It does so much damage. The Molotov lands as well, and Jax is going to get the kill.
That's the big thing, though. Actually, yeah. GamerLegion, they seem to be capitalizing or capitulating. Immediately, they're going to have to rotate around. Molotov's already there waiting for them. They have obviously no idea what the exact HP amount is on the G2 side. They just know that there's a whole lot of players who have been tagged up.
Well, lucky.
That's important.
Yeah, that's a good kill. That should be the sealing of the deal. It's Knock and Rusty have to fall away. It's going to be 13-10. Finally, G2 back to winning ways. Now standing 3 away from victory. But it's not done yet. GamerLegion still got a load of money in the bank. The only player that doesn't is Dennis, but his teammates have so much that they can drop him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a full solo buy coming in again from GamerLegion. Luckily, G2 keep pretty much every player bar Kiyoshima alive. So the money is not a problem for them at the minute. So we're going to see, finally, buy versus buy, everything you could possibly want. So on paper, this should be one of the most competitive rounds we've had.
We'll see if that rings true or not, but G2 at least getting their second round, and it's not necessarily in the most convincing fashion. There's a lot of things going their way for that to happen. There we are. Lucky down into Pop Dog, undeterred. Spread out focus here. Nobody actually watching towards the inner bomb side necessarily, with too much focus on the side of G2, but
oh, scary.
Yeah. Speaking of, Rusty's met his maker.
Yeah. Well, man advantage for G2 again. Let's see if they can hold on to it. I can just imagine what chat's doing right now. Well, it is going to be Lucky. He's going to take quite a bit of damage as he falls back up towards the top of the ladder. He doesn't really want to go down there. And Hampus is just moving on in. You realize it's empty, and Lucky has gone towards the top of the ladder. Hampus just waiting idly, patiently, waiting for Jax to come on in, who just falls to his death. Lucky probably should have warned him that there is a player possibly down there.
That's a bit optimistic, and Lucky's going to think better of it. He's going to wait around the corner and see what happens when Dennis shows up. Quickly learns that that was not what he was looking for.
Kenny's just kind of sat here waiting for someone to come help him, because he can't really go alone. So he's waiting for the rest of the troops, and they finally come in towards T-Con, but they've got a man deficit. They've got to rely on getting a pick here on towards Hampus. Freiberg up on top, though, can catch them off as they cross, and Amanek will get the trade. Keo has hit the grunt. And so Kenny S still with the op, Hampus in behind. He's still sitting in Pop Dog. He's still right here. He hasn't left this position since the beginning of the round, and will they be ready for it? Amanek just backing up towards Pop Dog. He doesn't want to go in there, so surely he realizes it's a possibility. And at this point, Hampus is starting to come on through. He pre-fires the corner. That will be Amanek gone. And Kenny S into a 1v2. He's no stranger of the clutch. They have no idea where he is, and he's just letting them come towards him. He hears the footsteps. There's the first kill. Kenny S hits the ladder and comes back. He's hiding on the green chin. The time ticking. There's the second shot, and Kenny S will get 14 for G2.
It's labored, but they are getting it done. Barely. G2 now at 14, and the money is starting to run low on GamerLegion. This might be the final stand here. I've done a good job to make it this far and bring it back to this point, but
yeah. This is very smart from Kenny, though. Just gets into a really nice position, just lets them search for him a little bit, get into a better position for himself, and then drops them one by one. So 14 to 10, a pause much needed here. Probably for both teams, I would say, because I'm sure Kenny's shaking after that one. He's got pulled off a big clutch. G2 needed it to come through, and it is 14 to 10. 2 away here for G2 taking victory in the series.
Now then. Needs flying out left and right. Kenny S making sure that he's aware of what shenanigans Hampus might be up to in Ivy here. We'll see how long he keeps an eye on that. Seems like Hampus is pretty committed to actually playing far forward. A surprising amount of nades that's been thrown out from the CT side this early on. Now left with 2 smokes, 3 flashes with about a minute 10 still left to go. Forward positioning from Rusty, and it seems like Freiburg wants to take a position inside of Pop Dog. G2 not really giving away where they want to head out as of right now. Amanek and Kenny are going to move towards Ivy. We'll see if they'll be joined by Kiyoshima as well. This might just be actually a backline split for Inner. You can see them smoke going in towards Connector as well. Or this might just be a setup for a fake here from Jax. Yeah, he doesn't really commit to it either, so still actually going to be successful enough to, well, no, I say that. Knock things better of it, drops right back. This is way too slow for G2 to actually try to sell as a fake.
Ooh, Freiburg doesn't really know that he's there.
Oh,
he has an inkling,
yeah.
and eventually we'll see him. There's the first and the second from Freiburg. He lines them up as a conveyor belt of death comes towards him. It is going to be the man advantage for GamerLegion, but the bomb plant still coming through. Keo nearly gets caught in the open, but he's trying to get the kill into Freiburg.
Oh, so low.
It won't come in. Amanek hits the deck, and Keo is gone. Kenny's the last player alive. A 1v4, yes, he's good, but maybe not that good. He's got to run away. This will be 14 to 11. GamerLegion will get themselves another, and they're just not giving up.
No, they really aren't. But that was, I mean, to be fair, they didn't really have to face that hard of a task when it came in from G2's tactical point of view. It was a really poorly executed fake. They try to sell it with a single player walking down and 2 nades. And they don't even move off of that. It took Knock about a second and a half to actually think better of it and be like, no, this is just silly. I'm not going to rotate over for this. Didn't even get messed up position-wise before he dies, so that's not really what it came down to either. That created an opening in Ivy. G2 though, they still have money on their side, and this time the tempo is a little bit quicker over towards higher for Kenny. Yet again though, look at Hampus hanging out in Ivy.
Well, it's a good shot from Knock on towards Kenny. Man advantage is picked up for the CT side to play with. And there's no real answer from G2 just yet. Gotta take it a bit slower. As GamerLegion just sitting back, waiting for G2 to show their hand. No reason for G2, for GamerLegion to get aggressive and give G2 a chance to equalize. So they can just hold their solid positions, hold the choke points, and eventually G2 are going to have to come through. And it's towards TCOM where they decide to sort of spring into action as Rusty will get rid of Jax. That's another kill going in the favor of the GamerLegion, leaving kioShiMa, Amanek, and Lucky in a 3v5. So they come out towards him. Lucky will take the head of Rusty, and it will be at least one back for G2 here. Ooh, Amanek comes in with one, but again, Freiburg is there, and he's still kicking. Lucky walks to his death as Dennis connects onto his head, and it's 14-12 here. GamerLegion only 2 away from equalizing, and they've been pretty solid on their CT side so far. Feels like G2 is struggling a bit on the T side.
I mean, I don't think it's something that you necessarily have to think about. I think it's just a statement of facts, really, at this stage. They're not having a great time of it. If you think back to what kind of rounds they've been winning, it's a pistol, it's a Kenny S clutch that was not necessarily the most of likely ones, and a round where they have 3 out of 4 players surviving at, what, 15 HP or less?
Exactly, yeah. It's not been great on the T side. And I think, again, that comes back to the point where G2 aren't playing with their full roster either. And we talk about how difficult the T side of train can be.
Absolutely. GamerLegion, the fact that they got to the 5 rounds that they did, it's, I mean, it's, yeah, promising. Absolutely. But we didn't think necessarily it would be enough versus G2. But yeah, that is very true, the caveat of them not having a full 5. Maybe that's why. I mean, kioShiMa's definitely done his part up to this point. Now, a little bit more quiet on train, maybe because he is that person who just gets slotted into a role and has to deal with it.
Yeah, you're playing here, and that's it.
It's like, I've never played here. Well,
I'm sorry.
Sucks to be you. Hampa's this time not going aggressively in IV, but aggressive nonetheless. The CTs are getting a fair bit of real estate to start us off, but Jax is going to be the one to end the first blood. Rusty down and out for the count. 2 players moving forward in Ivy. Pretty damn early on. Ooh. Freiburg not liking a result of that. Nate nearly finishes him as well. 5 damage only though. But it does create an avenue for kioShiMa to move in towards the back lines.
Well, Amanek, he does take away Dennis. It's going to be a man advantage this time for G2 as things are looking much better, but again, it's been pulled back. It's even once more. It's Freiburg going towards the top of the ladder, perhaps a little bit more questionable as Kenny S will topple him, and Amanek, again, pretty traditional lurking style of play. We've seen that yesterday from Robs, but sometimes it's caught Amanek off guard himself, and Hampus is ready for it.
Elephant steps not going to do many favors there. So 2v2, but time is starting to tick here. 16 seconds left on the bomb. Oh, Lucky. That's a nice adjustment, and Kenny's going to have no issues finding knock there.
Yeah.
15 rounds for G2, and that was probably the most convincing T-side round we've seen the entire half.
Yeah. Not even, maybe the entire map, really, because there wasn't a whole lot from
GamerLegion as well. Yeah, that's true.
So pretty good stuff in the end there. Much needed from G2. That does get them up to map and series point. But it's not enough yet because, again, they're going up against a decently strong buy here. And, you know, they've got some weaknesses themselves. So still up in the air.
Yeah.
Still say they've got the advantage in terms of their weapons, though. Is this going to be just a B hit? They're just going to run with most of their troops straight in towards B. It seems like it. The smoke just held them off. Yeah.
Smoke's scary.
Well, Hampus is also scary. And he's been here so many times before as he starts to spam away, but it's kioShiMa who will take him down, and that is definitely unfortunate. A deep smoke in towards Ivy. Freiburg jumps over the top of it, and he will spot some players in behind it.
How far forward does he want to stay, though? Is he going to go back for more? Can he just holding up the position? He's going to set up a flash for Amanek as well.
Doesn't quite reach Ivy.
No. Oh, and the timing, though, that reaches Amanek's face. Freiburg brings it back to even numbers. But the majority of the G2 squad is moving towards inners. So is Rusty now as well. getting that frag in IV loosens up things a little bit, and actually they're making a big rotation towards the inner bomb site. GamerLegion feel like they have a good read on the situation.
Well, Jack starts to make his approach in. Freiburg is going to be smoked off. Then it's able to drop Kiyoshima, but Lucky is there for the kill onto Rusty, and it goes back and forth as Freiburg doing great work yet again. He seems to have at least one of these every single map, and there it is, his time to shine. 3 kills coming his way, and Lucky has a 1v3. He has to make it happen to get G2 over the line, to get to the win here in the series. They know exactly where he is, though, and that makes things so difficult. He gets suffocated, and it will be another on the board for GamerLegion, 15-13. Money, again, back in the bin for G2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering the fact that they have at least one round to play off of, do you really want to chance it here? You have Amanek on 4K. Do you actually buy into this, or do you say we're going to go play it more safe rather than sorry? Well, they're going to risk it. Again, as you said, loss bonus is not going to be the greatest in the world, so D2 are not necessarily looking to find that much going into a potential last round if they were to lose this. Bomb plant would certainly help, but as it stands now, GamerLegion could bring us to overtime.
Yeah, with G2 cannot get it done here. It's almost, it's the most likely outcome, actually, we hit overtime. So we're looking at a very important round here. Hampus does spot the feet of Kiyoshima crossing over in towards Ivy. The run boost isn't just to disguise the player crossing over, it's to get him over safely, because it's impossible to get that kill. So none of these over there. They do have info, but they can't deal with it. And it will be the first kill for GamerLegion. It's Rusty on towards Lucky. With 50 seconds left, G2 are going to have to try and source a trade. Jax has been a bit more quiet here on trade. Amanek with a Mac 10. Going towards the back lines, towards Old Bomb as he continues his push. It will be Hampus who will drop him, though. And this is not looking good for G2 whatsoever. They don't really have a game plan right now. And this is a big problem for them. They're going to smoke in towards the B-bomb site. They have got a player in towards Old Bomb that can maybe come late in towards CT, but even at that point, it's probably going to be too late. Jax hits the headshot. Kiyoshima finds one as well, and suddenly we're back into a winnable situation for G2, as Kiyo coming in from CT has made the play fast, and Nock has to turn his attentions towards Kiyo. He will find the kill. Rusty drops Kenny. It's all on Jax. He's been the shining light for G2 throughout the day, but he has to make it happen, and it just won't. Nock drops, and there it is, 15-14. Money's not really going to be that great for G2 here, so the most likely outcome is going to be overtime here on the final map.
Bomb plant is really what is giving them a chance at the very least, but yeah, as you said, overtime is looking more and more likely. No, the odds still in G2's favor, but I have to say I'm a little bit surprised to see that GamerLegion actually, well, it's increasing, I guess.
Yeah.
They've been definitely fighting this, showing to be a worthy adversary for G2. And yeah, even though it's impossible for G2 to lose in regulation at this stage, can very easily be taken to overtime, but at that point, well, you're liking GamerLegion's chance to simply be off the back that they're going to start on the CT side and OT.
Yeah, the thing is, when we hit overtime, if we hit overtime, the currency then becomes T-round wins, right?
Yeah.
Both teams sucked at it, so it's whoever can luck out on one of them.
Let's see what it comes to. Maybe G2 still has something in the tank. Remains to be seen. Kyo's sent out into yard, and while he does find Hampus, Rusty just swings out from Pop Dog, and then there's no reply. The double peek is dealt with. Kenny all alone, 3 players to find. Hard to see this happening.
Yeah, and then just won't. 15-15, it's overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We started the day with a 16-0, and we've gone to the bonus rounds in our final map of the day. It's certainly been a long one here, but we have got a lot more to come. It's going to be G2 and GamerLegion here in overtime. Like you said, it will be G2 on the T side and GamerLegion getting the start in overtime on the T side. And yeah, both teams certainly struggled on that T side. And a quick note, we are playing on Faceit servers, I believe, so we have got 10k overtime. So that means if they decide to go for a double up setup and they end up losing everyone, we can face a bit of an economic problem.
It's boy oh boy time. Becomes really, really tough, for sure. A little bit of a break in the action before we get back into the swing of things. Quite surprised actually to see GamerLegion doing as well as they have done, being able to fight back from really, really rough positions, honestly, in the last 2 games, even though it didn't quite go all the way through in on Dust 2. Did definitely go all the way through here on Train. So OT, and they get started on the CT side where both of these teams did, well, pretty much all of the work, I think it's fair to say.
Well, we are just about ready to get into overtime. It is going to be a blockbuster. And I think we're going to see a lot of scrappy CS come through because they're both, you know, new rosters, haven't really played together. So how many ideas can they really have?
Fair question, right? Some of them might get creative. We'll see. Not really sure what the pause is for right now in terms of hold up. Almanac, Kiyoshima, and Kenny has yet to buy up. You can see the approach. So you talked about how it's so expensive with the 10K.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the economy as a CD side, especially if you want to run ops? Knock has kind of gone, well, okay, now he actually forces up a little bit more. I was about to say, like, he went with the bare minimum to start us off. It was literally just an op, no utility, and then like Kevlar, which is one way you can go about it. You'll secure at least 2 buys, even if you were to lose the first round. Now opting to get a smoke, and Molotov, and an HE. So it drains him a little bit more, but should still be okay for one more attempt at it. Away we go. Lots of flashes and whatnot flying over. Missed Molotov as well for teammate from the CTs. But they have more of a focus towards the inner bomb site here. 3 men set up very early on.
Well, G2 certainly haven't got their sights on the inner bomb site. They've got most of their troops towards A. And they're on Ivy. A couple are still, you know, toying with the fact they want to play around Pop Dog, and Dennis is pushed all the way through Brown Halls. You might just hear them on the ladder. And Hampus is going to have to back off because he's taking a little bit of damage on board there. So, thinks better of sticking around in Ivy and perhaps maybe a sticky fit. And GamerLegion, they still have a lot of utilities, so they can re-smoke off Pop Dog. Rusty wants to get flashed on in. He's going for the pre-fire into the corners. Damage. Lucky turns around and still finds it. That is ridiculous. Rusty able to pick up Lucky, and Jax tries to get the trade, but he's long gone. Forced into the open. Jack will eventually get it, so not too bad. It does come a little bit later on, but he still gets the trade. And it'll be Amanek who picks up Freiburg. Not able to drop Kenny S, and Dennis finally strikes in the action from his initial push towards the Brown Halls. Amanek comes over behind, drops Hampus, and it's Knock in a 1v2. 20 seconds left on the clock. This might just be it for G2. They might finally get a T-run, and it's important, especially in overtime. Keo wrapping around the bomb site, getting the plant in. This is bot time for Knock, who gets close towards the site. Nice shot into Kiyoshima. Checks the right corner, and that's where Amanek's playing from, and Knock makes it happen. That is disgusting from Knock. 16-15, and a 3K to come through.
Oh, he's so damn fast, isn't he? The first shot is crazy enough, and then having the calmness and coolness to not actually just swing wide immediately with USB. Swings to a certain degree and then figures out, okay, he's not going to take a wide stance at me. I have time to actually back off, get my op out again. That's my strongest suit in this one. And absolutely pummel him. That's such a big round for GamerLegion as well. Even though, yeah, sure, they do lose 4 players out of the 5 possible, but they win the round. That's really what it all comes down to. You can see how much money that saves Nock. He's going to have ops for every single round now in the OT.
Well, it is going to be Hampus spraying away, gets 2 kills. Jackson Amanek, they do fall. And Kiyoshima will grab Rusty. It's into a man advantage on that CT side. Going to go into the back of KDS and drop him to 66, but Freiburg, he has other plans for Kiyo. He sends him to the grave, and so it is a 2v4 here. Hampus rattling a couple of shots through with Freiburg picking up Lucky. It's all on Kenny. Inside of the smoke, and Hampus is just shooting left and right. Eventually, Kenny will drop him, but they know exactly where Kenny is. And this becomes very difficult for the French sniper to find a way into this. And to be honest, with the way GamerLegion are playing, it's looking pretty good for their chances to walk away with this, honestly. They turned things around.
Again, yeah, it's something about getting... If you can get 3 rounds, obviously, on your CT side here, it's a matter of fact that you can just so easily luck into...
1 on the T side.
Yes. And the added pressure on G2 that they have to be perfect about everything makes it...
And especially with the fashion that GamerLegion have got into this game, right? They've had to crawl back to overtime, and in overtime they've been flawless. So all the momentum is there. It's almost as though G2 have forgotten how to win.
Exactly, that's the problem, right? It's been so long since we saw any success out of G2. And they probably don't feel any wiser by the fact that they keep running into a bit of a brick wall here. The Swedes, though, loving life as of right now, and we're about to find out if they can close this out with a perfect half. Oh, that's a meaty nade onto Kiyoshima. He's not had a fun time here on train so far.
Well, damage is being taken by Lucky. He's dropped to 51. And be quite a bit of utility being expended by G2 just trying to hold them off. Make sure they can't get in behind them, but still, Rusty doesn't seem to care about that. He's pushed up and he's in towards the bottom of Pop Dog. Amanek has a smoke lined up.
It's going to be for Connector as well.
It will be Hampus.
Oh, Hampus actually rips off.
That timing is brutal, but Dennis, he sprays away, gets 1, nearly flicks back for the second, but it's Hampus who will eventually get his reward. It is a 3v3 though, 47 seconds. There's a kill from Kiyo, holding off Rusty. And this is looking good for G2.
Well, you say that. Hampus is still alive. He's going to pick up the Colt as well. Retake is on, 2v2. No utility actually left for G2.
Well, Kiyo's up towards upper, and Amanek on default. Hampus clears the corner, and again gets timed on. It's twice in 1 round, and it's all on Freiburg coming back in, but Amanek finds 2. 17 to 16, and G2 will get a T-round win. Yeah, could have been 2.
Could have been 2, but that could also be the one that they need. We'll see, though. We can keep in mind there's a reason why we're in OT, and as much as G2 had struggles on their T side, it's not like GamerLegion were flawless on theirs.
Nope.
So both of these teams knew how to deal with their CT side, so we'll see what comes of it. It's been a while, though, since G2 have found themselves on any sort of defending end.
Yeah, they might have, forgotten about it.
Yeah. It happens. It comes with old age.
It does. And, G2 have some older players.
Well, yeah, we talked about Jax, what, 25, 26. Well, tempo is definitely not an issue for GL. Getting favorable trades as well, at least to start us off.
It's almost like they're banking on they forgot how to play. And it's going to be Jax with 1 coming in onto Hampus, but it's not enough. It's only 1. It's all on Kiyo. 1 versus 2. GamerLegion, this would be map and series point.
Well, newly brought in Stand-It has it all to do. GamerLegion really taking their time here about covering their tracks and covering their backs. That is Nock with the bomb in his hand. Freiburg actually walking all the way towards backline to clear out, and they might actually cross each other's path without realizing. Oh, I think Nock spotted him.
No.
He saw it.
Well, that just makes it so much easier here for GamerLegion. They know exactly where Kiyo is, and he has no idea. Bomb gets planted on the A-bomb site. Kiyo will eventually realize that. And, well, they realize if he's not Pop, he's probably gone C-tier connectors. So they'll have eyes on that, and well, he can get into a good position up towards heaven, and that kind of neutralizes everything.
Yeah, it's very smartly played from GamerLegion's side here, just playing this as safe as possible. It's going to take a lot for Keo to get this done. He has an idea that somebody might be up here, but then again, he's starting to run out of time. He's got 10 seconds. Does have a fuse kit, but Freiburg's going to jump out the second he hears the smoke.
Yep.
GamerLegion 1 round away.
So here it is, 18-16. Map point, series point here for GamerLegion to upset G2 here at the Beijing Invitational. And again, this tournament is for a spot to play at Intel Extreme Masters Beijing with all the best teams in the world are going to be in attendance, it seems, because the teams that have been announced are currently stacked as hell, really. You've got Liquid, you've got Astralis, you've got NRG going, and G2 would certainly be one of the teams you would expect to see among a team list such as that, but they're not doing so great here, but that's a good start from Amanek.
And Dennis with a quick tempo, trying to relive the success of Rusty, but not really the same kind of ordeal going on the rest of the map, so things have slowed down. This is one of the things that wasn't necessarily too big of a fan of from GamerLegion when they were playing Dust 2. They were finding so much success when they were quick about it. In the case in this one.
Well, smoke goes in towards T-Con. Players from GamerLegion starting to put their attentions back up towards Brown Halls. They've got to source a trade or a way back into this after losing that early player towards Pop Dog. Eventually, GamerLegion are going to pull all of their troops in towards Upper B. They start to walk over here. There is one player inside of the site. It's Keo. Also pretty close by is Lucky with an AWP holding the ramp. So that is going to be the kill from Lucky. Hampus is going to fall. Knock looking for a pick here. But it's not coming through just yet. It's Keo. He's going to start to spam away. Rusty is the man to fall. Freiburg able to walk in with a kill of his own. And it's a 2v4 here. G2 looking to get 17. Not done yet though. Freiburg getting another kill with a bomb finally planted. Still a chance for GamerLegion.
Oh, it's going to be all on Freiburg though. He has to ace this out to keep them in this. That's a third. Now does he expect the backstab? Amanek makes his presence felt.
No way. 10-second defuse as well. Freiburg has a little bit of time to play with, but Amanek, he will shut him down, and that will be 17 for G2. So currently 18-17. We're 1 round away from victory or double overtime.
Yeah, here's the big thing though. Because G2 ended up losing the first round on the CT side, had to fully reinvest when pretty much broke before this. Losing 3 members, that means that they're gonna take a bit of a hit on their buy going into this one. They've managed to pick up the AWP for Kenny. That's great, but they're gonna be lacking somewhere. We'll see, yeah, it's Keo. 0 utility. When you look over at the buy on GamerLegion, you're definitely favoring that one.
Well, Kiyoshima goes up towards the top of the wood. Lucky covering him off as well. This is a decent setup.
Should be
towards the B-bomb site.
Should be a flash for Dennis here before he peeks. Oh, he's just trying to bait it out. Well, actually, that's effective as well.
Oh, that's even better though. Keo with 2 headshots coming in as the lineup. It's going to be the man advantage for G2. Looking to try and get it to double overtime as they try and run in towards the bomb site. It's going to be Freiburg overrunning Keo. And it's a good kill from Kenny. That keeps it good for G2. They've got the man advantage.
Bomb's gone down though.
Yeah, with having the bomb planted, Hampus is going to have to try and take some control towards that oil trade. He needs to be careful he doesn't get caught by one of these players close towards oil. And his team is completely blinded. Knock has no idea what's going on. Missed shot from Kenny. Oh my god, this is awkward. Hampus eventually gets one, but just like that, Amanek and Jax secure double overtime.
Well, well, well.
The game just keeps on giving.
It really does. So, we're doing it all over again. Rusty doing a damn fine job together with Almanac, sitting at 31 frags. Once we end first OT, Kenny S and Freiburg at 28. Nothing really separating these two teams as of right now. All we've really come to know is that none of them are necessarily finding any sort of key success on their T sides to set them up for potential success often enough or consistently enough. It really comes down to these CT sides a whole lot of the time.
It's been loaded along rounds, but it's going to be a fast play from GamerLegion in towards the B bomb site. Freiburg able to topple Kiyoshima, but lucky he's there for a kill. And it is a 3v4. Great shot from Knock. And the time can start to tick again. Smoke down on the bomb site. Follow-up smoke going out as well. I think just try and hold on here. Try and cause problems for them. As G2 want to try and get back into the site. Even yet again. And this B bomb site has been seeing a hell of a lot more action than that A site. Which is quite different to a lot of train games we usually see.
That's very true.
Well, Rusty does pick up Kenny. Molotov comes in towards Ramp. Good timing from Amanek. He spots the back of Rusty, taps the bomb, tries to bait him out into the open, and that'll be 2 kills coming in. Last player, Knock on 15 HP, has to go for it. Amanek going for the defuse. What is going on? He gets it in the end, and the bomb goes off. That is so close from Knock.
Oh dear.
Imagine.
I'm pretty sure his pulse rose by about 150, like, per 2 shots there.
That, oh my god, mine went up. I don't know what's going on in his mind. Oh, that, I need a pause after that as well. Whew. Don't think I've seen that in a long time.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh, that would be a horrible way to lose a run. Imagine if that's the run that cost him the game.
Yeah, that's going to sit with him for a couple of days, that's for sure.
That's going to be tilting as well for
G2,
for Amanek.
Oh, yeah. So close. You're hearing all these shots, like, surely he's about to run out of bullets.
Yeah, it's like, finally, I've got Ninja Defuse, and then, nope.
Well, GamerLegion, once again, able to break the deadlock on the T side immediately. First round, they weren't able to follow up on it in the previous OT, but this might be a chance. Giving themselves lots of opportunities at the very least.
Well, I think we've all recovered. We're ready to go again. It's going to be Amanek going aggressive towards Pop Dog. He'll get 2 kills for his troubles, make it 3 as he flicks up and finds Dennis. And he's a beast. 35 kills to this guy's name right now. Well, Kenny is going to get his head torn off by Hampus. Freiburg's going for the 30 ball.
He's going to have to pull up something here, though. Seems like there are people expecting him, and Kyo's definitely expecting the presence of Hampus. And back to normality, I suppose. And this time around, G2 make a better job of it, of keeping players alive. So they're not going to have as terrible of a bye going into the final round of OT number 2, in the first half at the very least. Actually, it's GamerLegion struggling a little bit more. Right into the inner bomb side we go. Efficient trade for the T side. Bomb's going to go down pretty neatly as well. Lucky has to use the smoke to get out, and gets met with another Molotov. Really well done from GamerLegion here to stagger everything. Now they've gotten the positions that they want.
Well, 4v4 time taking. GamerLegion looking pretty solid in the positions that they got. Like you were saying, but Freiburg, he's done one better. He's got a kill on towards Jax. And the rest of the G2 side trying to swarm the bomb site, but is it enough just yet? Amanek with another good kill. He's going to try and push forward, but it's Freiburg completely isolated, forced into the open, and Lucky drops him. So Dennis and Hampus, they know the time is ticking. The Molotovs all over the site as Hampus will hit a shot. It's not enough, though. Is there enough time for the defuse this time? There isn't again. Amanek can't get it through, and it's 20-19 as GamerLegion end the half ahead. Look at that scoreboard. Amanek 36 and 25. Close by is Lucky on 28 kills, joined with Kenny S. The quietest performer on the board is Jax for G2, and he's been the talisman for them throughout the day.
Yeah. And I mean, he started off pretty decently as well, but has really fallen quiet here towards the end of it. Kiyoshima has kind of gone the opposite direction. Definitely gotten more and more into the game once we have gotten into the later stages. But right now, GamerLegion has to feel like they're in the driving seat here. Prime opportunity to net at least 2 rounds on the CT side and close out this game with a win and a secured spot in the playoffs.
Well, 20-19 is the score, but it could very easily end 21-19 here. That's another good kill here from Rusty coming in towards PopDog. It is going to be a man advantage on the CT side with Jax just hanging over the edge, hoping that Rusty is to reface, because Jax would have the advantage in terms of positioning. That is, of course, if Rusty doesn't pre-fire, but the Molotov is going to come in anyway, and that's going to force Rusty away. He's going to take a tick damage from that. He smokes off the Molotov, walks into it before the smoke completely gets rid of it, and drops himself to 22 HP. Definitely unfortunate.
Not optimal. Knock misses an opportunity. Follow-ups not going to be there. Kenny S, quick as ever. Dennis actually gives up his positioning with that shot. Hampus able to find Jax, but this has definitely gone the way of G2. Now, G2 looking very likely to replicate the performance of GamerLegion, picking up T-round right off the bat.
Well, Kenny does catch Freiburg, and this has been a great round from him already. 3 kills to his name. Looking for the quad kill, and there it is. Kenny gets all 4. It is 20-20. We are even yet again. Is there ever going to be a round that separates these two teams? It's just back and forth, and we're even again. It's been 40 rounds, and still, we're no better on than from the first round.
Yeah,
so.
we're none the wiser, really. No really separating these two teams. Obviously, both within a chance of closing this out and ending the game, 22 being the magic number. Obviously for GamerLegion right here, they really need to win a round, otherwise they're looking to be broke, and that's not the start you want. Knock goes down, Lucky finds a second one as well, and this could be where the French really assert their dominance. 2v3, Hemp is already down to 28 HP. Dennis swings out into Bomb Train. Curious if he was spotted or not. I think so, yeah, with a nade there. Pretty big tell, and Dennis has to clutch out the 1v3.
Well, it's not going to happen. Kenny S again is just bored of this. He wants to keep, he just wants it over with. Has another great kill coming in his way. 21-20 as G2 head into the lead. And it feels like they're starting to build up that momentum that they need, because GamerLegion in a very sticky situation in terms of their money.
Well, that really is what might break their backs. Yeah. Look at this this final buy. At least they have, well, they've opted in for utility over weaponry, but how do you really make this work?
G2 are not going to have a better chance of winning this than this run, so this is their best one.
Absolutely.
Well, oh my god, they just thrown the bomb to Hampus! They've just thrown the bomb down PopDog. What? Why have they done that?
Diversion tactics.
Hampus like, what is going on here?
It allowed for Keo to find an opening on Freiburg. Let's go with that.
Well, now they just have to try and get the bomb.
Oh god.
This, I've never seen this. Oh my, this is rough. Hampus is just like, well, I'm never giving this up. You can force me away, but I'm always going to try and hold on to it. Keo's going to walk in behind, and I mean, it is pretty confusing for them, it seems.
It's working out.
Yeah, it's
working
okay.
out somehow.
They're still getting the kills. But that would have been ridiculous. G2 are a team that sometimes have some wacky plays.
They do weird stuff.
Sometimes they forget to defuse the bombs. Sometimes they
don't understand that they need a bomb. Yeah. It's, they've got a deep-rooted issue with the C4 in this game. Dennis tries to swing forward, not capable of it, and 1v5 for Knock. As well as he's played so far, it's not looking very likely. And G2, after a very prolonged fight, are looking to punch their ticket into the playoffs here. That means, again, they're going to avoid Mousesports all the way up until the potential finals. Oh, All right, then.
All right, shows what you're made of, Nock. It's not a whole much more than that, but he had an incredible series. But it is G2 who take it 22-20 here on the final map of the day. And it was a blockbuster of a best-of-3, to say the least.
It did really go all the way. Started off with a 16-14 on overpass. We expected that to be tightly contested map. Then we saw, I guess, more of what was expected over on Dust 2, G2. Maybe not as convincing as we first had foreseen it, but nonetheless, picking up a win without having to go to OT or anything like that. And Train, that became quite the quite the battle.
It did indeed. It looked like it was never going to end, but eventually if G2 are your winners. They move on to the other bracket. It is going to be your two semi-finalists so far are mousesports and G2, but we've got to find them opponents. So that means we've got to have a lot more best-of-3s, a lot more games. It is only best-of-3s from here on in, and we're going to be back at the exact same time tomorrow for the start of those best-of-3s. Make sure you join us then.